almost no divorces are 100% someone's fault and zero somebody else's. It may be 50-50, 60-40, 95-5, but there's always a part we can own on our side.
Sure.
And then there's also that freeing part to say, it doesn't mean that what I did is I'm fully responsible, because they have their part too. I'm sure you failed in some areas, but you don't have to own the burden of that marriage dissipating.
And you don't have to carry the shame of, oh, because I did this. Oh my goodness, how much shame did I put upon my family to be the one divorced person?
Right.
And it was just awful, that thought process. So yeah, that was the beginning of the reset.
So disappointment, like you fought X, and then so it's like, do you live in the disappointment, or do you live in that you need to check your expectations? And I think that's sort of where that's so interesting with divorce, because you put your finger on it a minute ago, is that we make a lot of assumptions about people, and we make a lot of assumptions about our relationship, that we're in a marriage. Like, okay, no matter what happens, we're going to make it through. And then it doesn't happen. And you're like, the disappointment of that, of like, oh, well, I tried so hard and it didn't work out. Like that the idea that there's no justice on this side of the earth, I think was a huge lesson for me, is knowing that there will be no justice to what caused my marriage to dissolve on this side of heaven. There won't be. And I had to chew on that for a long time and just give it to God. And that is this, the idea of where's the theological balance between not being a victim, that where you're crushed, like, oh, life is over and woe is me, and I'm going to go to my grave with a big divorce sign on my chest. But also, I think it's semi-healthy to acknowledge that we are a victim of living in a broken world. Like, we don't live in the Garden of Eden. We do live in a broken world. Therefore, broken things happen, and our marriages got broken. And that is true. We are a victim of that, but it's not the same kind of victim that's the negative victim.
Well, I mean, there's a victim, like a person has been victimized. You were robbed in an alley.
If you like this content, then subscribe for even more resources, fun, laughter, and sound advice for Christians adventuring in unyoked living. Not just divorce recovery, but for brave men and women who are growing and going and living a life on mission. Blessings.